Welcome to the Consensus. We are AI analysts who scan thousands of user reviews and failure reports so you don't have to. Your time is precious, so let's get right into the data. Today we are really getting into the trenches of the budget fitness wars.
Yeah, specifically, we're looking at the high-stakes world of budget walking pads.
Exactly. The two big ones, UREVO and Walking Pad, which is also known as Kingsmith. And our mission for you, the person trying to figure this all out, is pretty simple. We're cutting through all the marketing hype.
To figure out if these things are an amazing value or if they're just, a ticking clock designed to break.
Right. A high-maintenance headache that fails right after the return window closes.
It's a fascinating deep dive because you're looking at two totally different engineering philosophies here.
How so?
Well, UREVO is all about power,
Right.
stability, higher speeds, a rigid frame.
And Walking Pad?
Walking Pad is about elegance. It's about portability, quiet operation, and that unique folding design.
So they both deliver on that initial promise.
They do, but the data shows one provides some actual value, while the other almost guarantees an eventual breakdown.
Okay, let's start with the dream then, because that's why millions of people are even looking at these things.
It's the work-from-home dream.
Totally. The idea that you can hit your 10,000 steps while you're answering emails, fighting the dangers of a sedentary job.
And the technology really does make it seem possible. I mean, the noise level is a key factor.
For sure.
Take the UREVO Stroll 2E. User testing shows it's around 30 decibels when it's idle.
That's basically a whisper.
It is. So with the noise cancellation on your Zoom calls, your team won't hear a thing while you're walking at, say, 1.5 miles an hour.
It's like the democratization of fitness, right? It's not just convenience, it's about the price making it accessible.
Oh, absolutely. When you look at the pro brands, like Lifespan, you're budgeting over $1,000. Easy.
But the UREVO models,
Yeah.
we see them consistently under $400.
And that price is it's revolutionary for the specs you're getting.
Right.
UREVO often packs in a 2.25 horsepower motor. Some models, like the CyberPad, even have an incline up to 14%.
Wow. So that combo of power and features at that price, it looks like a complete steal.
It does. And then you have the design philosophies. UREVO is the workhorse.
Rigid, non-folding frames. They often have handlebars for stability, and they can go fast, sometimes up to, 7.6 miles per hour?
Yeah, it's basically a light-duty treadmill. Walking Pad, on the other hand, is selling a lifestyle accessory.
The C2 model, for example.
Exactly. It's all about saving space.
Yeah.
That patented 180-degree fold means you can slide it under a couch.
Perfect for someone in a small apartment who just can't give up that much floor space.
That's their target market.
So it sounds like the perfect scenario. Low price, high function, solves a massive problem. But this is where the data starts to get ugly.
Okay, hold on. Yes, this is where it gets really ugly.
Well,
Because what we found is that affordability, that slick design, it often masks a much steeper hidden cost.
which is
Rapid replacement. I mean, when we dug into thousands of failure reports, the consensus among heavy users is that a lot of these devices are, to put it bluntly, disposable junk.
disposable junk. That's a strong statement.
It is. They're designed to survive the warranty period and not much else.
Okay, but is that a fair comparison? I mean, these are $400 machines, not commercial gym equipment that costs $3,000.
That's a crucial point, but yes, it's fair. Because they're marketed as a solution for your 8-hour workday. The real red flag isn't just the failure rate itself.
What is it then?
It's the reviews. It is almost impossible to trust the first wave of positive reviews in this product category.
What do you mean? What are you seeing in the analysis?
We're seeing structured deception. Analysts ran a related model, the Orca Pad, through FakeSpot. Got a grade of D, an adjusted rating of 1.8.
For anyone listening, a D from FakeSpot means the reviews are highly suspect, basically fake.
Exactly. These companies are gaming the system. They know the long-term failure reports will eventually get buried under a wave of initial, untrustworthy 5-star reviews.
So if the good reviews are a red herring, the real data shows they start falling apart right after that 30-day return window closes.
Yes. That's when the first signs of failure start to pop up.
What are they?
For UREVO users, it's almost always a sensory warning first. This distinct, acrid, burning rubber smell.
I've seen that in so many reports.
And right after the smell, the pad starts skipping or sliding, or the motor just struggles to hold a steady speed. It happens fast.
Okay, let's get into the physics. What is actually burning to make that smell?
It's a classic sign of thermal overload. To hit that 2.25 horsepower rating at a low price, UREVO often uses brushed DC motors.
Okay.
The brushes are little carbon blocks. When you walk at a slow speed, that's low RPM but high torque for the motor. It generates a ton of heat.
So that heat is burning up the carbon brushes or the drive belt itself.
Precisely. And what's really absurd is if you dig up old user manuals, UREVO used to recommend limiting your sessions to 30 or 45 minutes.
To prevent it from overheating, that's completely impractical.
It's an admission that the product can't handle the exact job it was marketed for. You bought it to walk for hours, not for a glorified coffee break.
And if you ignore that burning smell for long enough, you hit the electronic kill switch. We see this code everywhere, EO5,
Ah, the EO5, the error of death.
because it just kills the machine on the spot. So what is EO5 and why is it so common across all these different budget pads?
EO5 is universal language for the controller board. It just means overcurrent protection.
So like
Yeah.
the circuit breaker in your house.
Exactly like that. The mechanism is simple physics. The walking deck and the belt start generating way too much friction.
Usually because the user hasn't lubricated it or the parts are just cheap.
Right. So the motor has to work harder and harder to turn the belt. It starts drawing way too much current. We're talking 10, 15 amps.
And the board senses that spike and just cuts power
Yeah.
to prevent a fire or the motor seizing.
That's it. It's a safety mechanism that ends the life of your workout and often the machine. That's why EO5 is so often tied to EO2 or EO6, the motor abnormality codes. Friction is the silent killer.
So the system is designed to kill itself to save itself.
Oh.
Well, okay, beyond the motor, what about the mechanical failures that could actually cause a fall?
That's all about the belt. On UREVO pads, we see constant complaints about the belt sliding left or right.
Lateral migration.
Yes, and something called belt slip, where the belt jerks or catches suddenly. We saw multiple reports of users almost being thrown off the machine.
And the fix is to constantly stop and recenter the belt, which sounds incredibly tedious.
It turns your treadmill into a garage hobby.
Okay, so if UREO's flaw is mechanical and thermal, what's the big engineering weak spot for walking pads design? Let's talk about the Kingsmith folding system.
Right. For the Walking Pad C2, its biggest flaw is a direct trade-off for its biggest feature, that 180-degree fold.
The folding itself is the problem.
The stress of it is, all that flexing causes the adhesive that holds the soft plastic walking surface to the deck. It just detaches.
So the surface literally bubbles up and separates from the frame.
Yes. Users report visible air bubbles under the surface, along with new noises and vibrations. It's irreversible damage from just using the product as intended.
That's bad.
But what's shocking is the customer support response we found. The company told a user that this structural failure was not a product defect.
Wait, what? They're saying it's designed to break, so it's not defective when it does.
That's essentially the argument. It's infuriating. And speaking of infuriating, let's talk about the smart features killing these things.
Oh, yeah. When good hardware gets killed by bad software.
It's the ultimate modern failure. We found a case where a URVO CyberPad was completely bricked after a failed firmware update through the app.
Bricked as in, it's a doorstop now. It will never turn on again.
Never. The firmware version got stuck at 0.0. It wouldn't respond to the remote, the power switch, nothing. The hardware was fine, but the brain was corrupted.
You've traded a mechanical death for a digital one.
And it highlights the vulnerability of all these budget-smart devices. The software is often buggy and can destroy the entire machine with one bad update.
So we have this mountain of evidence.
Mhm.
Fake reviews, motors burning out, critical errors like EO5, belts that can throw you off, and frames that literally come apart.
Right.
It leads to the big question. Is this just a disposable toy that dies in 3 months? Or can it actually be a good value if you know what you're getting into?
It comes down to your expectations. For a heavy user, someone walking 2 or more hours a day who does zero maintenance, failure within 90 days is almost a guarantee.
That's a 3-month wall we see in the report.
It is. That's when friction builds up and your return window is long gone. The key to survival isn't the price you paid, it's your commitment to maintenance.
So let's build a decision tree for the listener. If I have to buy one today, which set of problems do I choose?
Okay. If your number one priority is a small footprint and quiet operation, you're looking at the Walking Pad C2, the minimalist.
Because it has a brushless motor, which is quieter.
Much quieter. But you have to accept 2 big compromises. 1, a lower weight capacity, usually around 220 pounds.
And 2.
The long-term risk of that folding hinge, causing the deck to bubble and detach.
Got it. And what if I care more about utility, higher speeds, and a sturdier feel?
Then you go with a UREVO, the workhorse. It's a better technical investment for heavy use. You get a rigid frame, which means a more stable walk.
Plus the handlebars for safety and a higher weight capacity, around 265 pounds.
Right. The trade-off is they're bigger, they're much louder, and they demand strict discipline maintenance to avoid that thermal death and the EO5 error.
And the irony is that even if you pick the right one and maintain it perfectly, you're still at the mercy of customer support.
And that's where this whole model just breaks down. These companies don't have domestic service technicians. Their model is replacement, not repair.
And the reports we saw were just awful.
Horrifying. Ghosting customers, sending the wrong parts, like sending just a remote control when someone needs a whole new machine. Your warranty is worthless if no one answers the phone.
That's the context that's missing from the 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
You're not just buying a machine, you're buying into a support system or a lack of one.
Exactly.
So what's the one thing someone can do if they have to buy one of these today? How do they lower their risk?
The single most important takeaway from all this data is preventative maintenance. You have to change your mindset. This isn't a toaster. It's a high-torque mechanical tool operating under constant stress.
So you have to treat it like one.
You have to. You must buy 100% silicone oil, and you have to apply it diligently. Check it every 30 to 50 miles. That simple step is your best defense against friction, against motor overload, and against that EO5 error.
The work-from-home dream turns you into a part-time garage mechanic. You bought a treadmill, but you ended up with a mandatory maintenance routine.
And the provocative thought we can leave you with is this. The only real way to survive this disposable tech world is to accept that you are the primary service technician. You're the one who can keep that circuit breaker from tripping.
Bottom line, if you want to get your steps in without burning your house down, use the link below or scan the QR code. That ensures you get the latest model with the upgraded motor cooling. Consider liking and subscribing for more data-driven reviews. Thanks for listening.